Finally, something exciting is happening in 3.0 beta. There is a nice list on Reddit, but I want to talk only about few of these things. The only spoilers will be new support gems. No other content will be spoiled in this video. So, maybe I'll start with Righteous Fire, because it is my favorite skill, and it got nerfed. It now deals 40% of maximum life and energy shield as fire damage, down from 50. It also grants only 20% more spell damage at level 1, down from 40. Life-based Righteous Fire builds probably won't feel anything, because it is much easier to get more life now. But if you are a fan of low life Righteous Fire builds, I know many people will be sad and even angry, but this nerf makes my inner devil laugh. ES got nerfed and now low life Righteous Fire got nerfed. I am life for life. How about you? Are you a team life or team energy shield? Which just makes me so happy. I don't know why, it's just like a revenge. Well, let's just move on before I hurt someone's feelings even more. So, there are new support gems. Ruthless, Onslaught and Arcane Surge. Normally I wouldn't make a video just to talk about new support gems, but I can see a new meta on the horizon. And this is just my initial thoughts. It may still change, but there may be a lot more to this. I think when 3.0 goes live, we may see more gems like these. So let's take a closer look at Ruthless. Basically, it has 30% chance to give a high damage multiplier, up to 130% more melee damage. This is like 2 or even 3 support gems, and it is only 110 mana multiplier. And for level 1? Well, okay, that 30% chance is RNG based, but still, this multiplier is really insane. Note that it says melee damage. This means elemental damage as well, as long as it is melee. Of course, to feel a bit more consistent, you would need high attack speed. I think some Raging Spirits would benefit greatly from this one. And that base 0.8% second stun duration? Really? This will probably get nerfed along the way, but maybe it's not that overpowered. On the other hand, I can't help but think that SRS with this would be very overpowered. Very interesting, but let's move on. Arcane Surge. Chance to gain Arcane Surge when you use a skill. And Arcane Surge grants a damage buff. Well, spell damage buff. It is very similar to Elemental Overload. And I am a big fan of Elemental Overload. But instead of activating on critical strike, it has its own chance to activate on skill use. Not on skill hit, but on skill use. This means you will have to actively use some spell to trigger this buff, but it wouldn't really make sense to use it on your main skill, because the damage multiplier is not that great and it has a chance to activate this damage multiplier. You could instead just use Control Destruction or Elemental Focus, added Lighting, added Cold, or whatever. By the way, those two got buffed as well. You could probably link it to something like Shield Charge or Whirling Blades and get this buff all the time. I haven't tested if these links would work, but well, you basically would support some spell that you use all the time, but not your main spell. And I'm not gonna talk about Onslaught because I don't see any use of it. Another thing I want to talk about is Elemental Proliferation. I can't remember was it changed before or in this version, but now it grants 20% chance to freeze, shock and ignite. And this probably will be my new favorite support gem. Imagine Ignite Proliferation builds that also spread shock, or lighting builds that also spread ignite, just like old Elementalists, before Elemental Conflux got nerfed. And I don't want to go too far into theory crafting, but I just want to give the idea. Imagine Berserker proliferating ignite and shock as easily as Elementalist. Also, with some other changes and changes to support gems, you can make your shocks a lot more dangerous now. Well, bosses now have more lives, so I'm not sure if you will be able to shock bosses. But then again, this is just initial thoughts. So, what do you guys think? What new builds do you have in mind? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you soon.